piling gently on the window beyond the curtain. Without a word, the city reveals how still it truly is tonight. An old jazz tune plays on the radio, and you lift the mug to your lips. Outside the world blurs like a black and white film, and only the sound of our breathing rises warm between us. A candle on the table casts off shadows on the wall, and just like this, no word could make this moment more perfect. You look at me without saying a thing, and in your eyes I heard the sound of my weariness melting away. By the snowy window we drifted slightly away from the world, and jazz quietly filled the space between, warm spread from fingertips without a sound, and winter little by little became love. Time passed slowly, like coffee cooling in our cups. We sat closer together, asking nothing at all. A few snowflakes tapped against the glass, then disappeared. The music moved to the next track, and the night stayed quiet and deep. No one would have known how much emotion was breathing quietly within this small room. By the snowy window we still said nothing, and in that silence jazz rang out like truth. Memories began to take shape, softly, slowly. When the final note of the night touched your gaze, I understood the meaning of winter was this very moment. The closing announcement rang like a small bell, and with just a glance we wished this time wouldn't end. The coffee had nearly gone cold, and our conversation had run out of new things to say. But the silence wasn't awkward, it was comforting. You quietly rubbed the foam, left on the mug with your fingertip, while I watched how far the snow had piled outside the window. Should we go now? Even that question felt hard to say. We were both turning the last page of something we didn't want to finish. Before the cafe closed, our winter still lingered on, heavier than the coat hanging on the chair. Was the weight in our hearts, the wish for it not to end, wrapped around us before the music could. A staff member quietly wiped the tables and we slowly shifted toward the counter, but didn't completely rise from our seats just yet. The coffee stain beneath the mug caught the light and shimmered in your eyes. The word not yet was hiding. To someone else it might have been a meaningless winter night, but for us it was a delicate stillness before drifting elsewhere. Before the cafe closed, we tried to stretch the time a little. Even the silence between us became a kind of conversation before the cold wind outside grew colder than my heart. The cafe doors open, and even as we stepped out, the night kept unfolding. Without a word, my hand brushed yours, just barely. On the table, half a cup of coffee remained, and so did the silence. Not from a fight, not from misunderstanding, but from a kind of peace that no longer needed words. I wrapped my hands around the cup, you stared quietly out the window, even as we avoided each other's eyes. Nothing felt distant, we knew, without having to explain. A shadow lean against the wall, your hand silhouette slipping beneath the table. I thought to myself, this silence feels warm in the weight of my entire day. As the lights dim slightly and the jazz softened in a breath, we drew a little closer in that quiet way. You always understood me. The silent table where we said the most, more breath and sentences, the air thicker than any conversation. Everything was heard, even when unsaid, on that winter night table. each other. The foam in the cup faded away, the music drifted to another song, but time at our table remained still, refusing to move on. Some would say silence is something to fill or escape, but we kept ours like layers of memory. After that night I began to love quiet places, the silent table, our own language of letting in all the words I never said. You seem to already know. On a cold winter night there was warmth without speaking. We stood up at last without saying anything, lifted our cups, left the table, and yet that silence has lasted longer than most conversations. Even now, I think of you, and I sit at a table that says nothing. Outside the unlit window, snow was falling. The world had gone quiet like a blank page, and I was turning the last sip of wine around in my glass, waiting for that song. It came later than I expected. A small blue note slipped from the radio. The floor was laid in silence, but music walked across it. Keys softer than my breath, a beat slower than my heart, and a melody too familiar to be comforting, so it felt stranger. I thought of the jazz bar where we first went together. Even in winter they kept the windows open. We used to listen to that tune side by side, but now I was tracing the score on my own. Each note pressed down a season, each rhythm carried your tone, and I listened even though you weren't here. I heard you on this white night. The blue notes rang clearer, all the things we never said, all the feelings left behind were tucked between the short phrases of that quiet tune. And yes, it was our story. When the snow started falling heavier, I smiled without meaning to. Even though the song was sad, it felt like your laughter was hiding somewhere in it. The DJ's voice faded into nothing, leaving only the music to fill the room, and your memory deeper than my own shadow. They say love fades but music stays, and it was true. The deeper the night, the clearer our song became. Oh, the white night, blue notes drifted through, and the frozen parts of my heart melted just a little. Even the anger I held against you bowed its head in front of that melody. When the music ended, Whether it began in the night or at dawn, I couldn't tell. I had fallen asleep too early, but the snow must have been quietly layering its rhythm all the while. I didn't catch the first note, but I knew it was jazz. Each time a car wheel slid across the road, it brushed past like a symbol's whisper. Footsteps echoing in the alley, tapped down like a delicate snare. No one was conducting, but every sound kept time. I hadn't turned on any music, and yet outside a concert was underway. On top of the red mailbox by the post office, a rhythm settled like a message beside my lukewarm cup of coffee. Slow notes spread like stains. The wind and snow, one note at a time, write themselves into a silent score. Nothing out of place, each pause intentional. In this very moment, the city is performing in wide rhythms. A stranger's footsteps, a dry cough from a passerby. Even the name I keep repeating softly in my chest, they're all part of this song. Come to think of it, that day we walked together, the snow was just like this. We said nothing, yet stepped in time. Each footfall a note, some forgotten jazz tune played faintly through a street speaker, and somehow it harmonized so perfectly with this day's rhythm. Though the world seems still, it's quietly moving forward, layer by layer, folding into someone else's tempo. Another measure of time, still piling, still playing. This city performs all day long, and I hope the rhythm outside my window reaches your street too, so you'll remember this winter as part of the song. The snow hasn't stopped, and neither has the rhythm. I'll spend the rest of this day as the backdrop of this tour. Letting the rhythm outside my window carry me quietly forward. The cars have gone quiet. Even the jazz from the speakers has stopped. Only the sound of a coffee cup being set down echoes softly in the cafe outside. Snow still falls lightly. Inside, no one is in a rush. I sat there in between it all, not retracing the day that had passed, not anticipating what was to come, just being, just feeling how the city was quietly catching its breath. This time belongs to no one, not the woman walking down the street, not the couple in the corner booth, not even the barista behind the counter. Everyone is softened into their own rhythm. The city isn't holding its breath, it's simply breathing slowly. I wondered who would stand first, but no one moved. There was motion, but no urgency. Silence, yet still something passed between us. Truly stops, but sometimes it pretends to, just enough for us to catch our breath too. I looked at the seat where you used to sit, remember the mugs placed side by side. We sat in silence for so long, as if we two were just breathing in and out. Some might call this time a pause, but to me it's the fullest part of the day. City always in motion, sometimes forgets itself, and in that moment we slip in quietly, granted a place in the stillness. Tonight's jazz ends here. Pretending to pause, fold into each other's silence. To catch one's breath might be to prepare for the next step, but tonight I'd rather let this stillness be everything, just as the city breathes evenly again. So do I. The snow is falling heavier now, layering softly over the last order sign taped to the glass. Though the doors hadn't yet closed, our hearts were already preparing for a quiet goodbye. We took our time deciding, but ended up ordering what we always did. You shrugged off your coat, and I tucked my hand warmer back into my bag. Everything moved with a strange slowness. Winter could no longer rush us. The world outside turned entirely white, and the light inside glowed warmer than the coffee mugs. We looked at each other in silence, as if we already knew this final sip on a snowy day was enough to make us smile. Soon the door would close, the last tab paid, the glass empty as people slowly rose to leave. But we stayed just a little longer. A last order means more than a posted sign. It gently asks us to prepare for parting as the world practices closing up. We sit on its threshold, folding the warmth of this day quietly into ourselves. New guests took the table beside ours, shaking snow from their umbrellas and laughing. Their laughter nudged us gently aside, but we didn't mind. We had already finished. The soft jazz playing lowered its head a little. Snow still fell, and the door would soon be shut. If hearts too had a last order, perhaps we had just been served ours. A quiet smile, a cup set down, your hand brushing snow from my coat. Even that was part of it, this final tune. Save for the close of a snowy day was our melody. It may be forgotten after it's finished, but the warmth it left behind will not easily fade. As we stepped outside, the snow had thickened, but within us it had already fallen, and it had drawn us just a little closer. Footsteps faded in the midnight alley when a flickering sign quietly lit up the silence of the hour. I passed the window where light spilled out, and without thinking, or maybe with everything in mind, I stepped inside. The noise had long dissolved, only a few glasses left on the bar, being gently wiped clean. The bartender greeted me with his eyes, and I nodded, taking a quiet seat. The piano on stage no longer needed to prove anything. The trumpet and a bright bass breathed only as much as they needed. No one looked at anyone, but everyone seemed to be waiting for someone. I wanted to believe I wasn't emptying the glass, but filling in today's hollowness. They said it was snowing, but you couldn't hear that from here. This place doesn't ask when you came, why you left behind. It simply lets the music take your hand instead of words. Old photos on the wall, maybe where loved ones lingered. I was only a brief echo in that lineage of silence, but with each song's end, more than any comfort. There are rhythms that move without dancing, and spaces that speak without words. That's what this place is. The midnight jazz bar to avoid the end of night. It composes another tune to forget goodbyes. It pours another glass, and somehow every love can become a jazz song. Given time, I left my seat, and snow had begun to fall. But somewhere inside me, the jazz kept playing. That night didn't forget me, and I never really left it behind. I thought the street had forgotten, but someone's footprints remained, faint, hesitant, before snow began to fall. Slowly, silently, layering the memory in the cold dawn, beneath dim streetlights. We walked in quiet rhythm. I adjusted my steps to match yours. Awkward at first, but strangely the memory warned me later. Maybe you smiled first, maybe I paused too long. That small rhythm of walking still feels familiar now. Though we said nothing, the silence of that street stays vivid in my mind. The wind scattered things, the memories blurred at the edges, and though the snow tried to cover it, all those footprints, they never truly vanished from my heart. We know, don't we, that fading doesn't mean forgetting. Even if the path looks blank now, the warmth, the pace we shared still lingers. That's how we walked through a whole season. It was brief, but our shadows touched in the middle of winter. We made something warm. The snow erased the trail, but I walk it again, trying to remember you. Snow piling on footprints, time layering over memory. It's beautiful, and it stings a little. What we left behind disappeared without a trace, but it wasn't truly gone. I've learned that fading is only the shape leaving, not the feeling. To keep it from vanishing, we if I stand there again. The steps we left were rising memory. Some things last longer because they disappear. Like this winter street we once walked. Unzipped the old case, laid my fingers on the dust-covered keys. In the farthest corner of a cafe, at a table the lights didn't reach, winter had quietly decided to remain as jazz. There were evenings we handed each other music instead of words. Snow landed on our shoulders, but no one looked up. We just held our glasses in the silence deep in the city itself. A figure passed beside an abandoned umbrella, and above it a saxophone wept like something long familiar. Everyone, I think, was hiding a melody somewhere in their hearts. That winter was not a memory, but a rhythm somewhere. Always there was slow, low tempo jazz playing just out of reach. So winter remained in the after image of snow, in the one who left without goodbye. Even in words colder than warmth, all of it turned into jazz, playing softly when you least expect it. A song from the radio would stop me mid-step in a quiet midnight alley. The expression I wore then might have become a note in this song. Two glasses clinking, eyes meeting across silence there. Winter melted into jazz without a sound. Some seasons don't fade, they simply become music that won't be played again. But if we can remember the melody even once, then it's enough. Even in winters that never return, the jazz still flows like a cafe's last order, like the hush outside the window. Our winter will remain held within a single chord. I don't know who played the first key, but the city wore harmony today. Snow descended slower than traffic lights, composing rhythm as it fell, each footprint on the white, a note in winter's unwritten score. Snow landed on my shoulders, but I heard it before I saw it. A cello somewhere beyond a window, a fading radio, a cooling cup of coffee. Yet the city quietly seemed to have finished tuning itself. Breaths gathered at the bus stop from people's hesitant step. White corks began to play. Street lamps turned into rests, and a single cat vanished between buildings, a melody fading out. Even without music, we were walking to a melody. Each of us held our own quiet rhythm, and the city listened, writing it down without a word. Today's harmony began from snow on rooftops, carried on in silent breaths, and found its cadence in fleeting glances exchanged. The city left behind a white cord just for us. A trumpet sounded from around the corner. I didn't stop, I simply followed the chord, slowly, softly into the sheet music of the city. Laughter behind drawn curtains at a hidden jazz bar on snow that hadn't yet melted. Footsteps scattered like notes across piano keys. When winter passes, we may no longer hear this chord, but somewhere inside a note the city once gave us will quiet we remain. With every passing breath, the chord wavered gently, a blend of warmth and solitude. The city unfolded its music, and we walked across it. The melody hasn't ended, it's only waiting for the next season, placing my steps on the white corks of the city. I leave behind the final beat of winter. The first to notice the snow had stopped wasn't the cat by the window, but a worn jazz record spinning beyond the curtain. One bar, then another, and the world began moving again. Instead of footprints, the streets held only damp echoes. Marks left by someone in a rush faded like an unsure rhythm. That's when a memory drifted in. Our conversation, our laughter tangled in the quiet snowfall. Autumn leaves played on the radio, even the winter wasn't quite done. But somewhere, like a trailer for spring, a warmth touched the tip of my nose. It was the music, it was you, it was us. Maybe no one remembers this very moment, but I do. I know the snow's pause was when the city began playing jazz again. Jazz is like that, slipping away unnoticed, then returning softly, taking its seat in the center of our hearts, like that melody, like these post-snow steps on a slowly waking street. The last snowflake dangling from a bare branch gently touched down, a siren in the distance, the sound of heels, a coffee machine brewing, all became in transition of the city. People returned to their chairs, someone hummed a tune alone, lukewarm coffee in their cup, and a familiar footstep drawing near. Though snow would come and go again, the jazz of that day, the air of that day remains within me, like a track I can always play back. As I walked again, I recalled the rhythm of that day, your steps, my breath, even the silence after the snow. It all became a score. Spring will come now, but I wanna stay a bit longer. After the snow, a single bar of jazz still lingers, and with it I'll gently fold away our winter. The sun hid behind the apartment skyline, and silence spread over the river, like the final track of a forgotten album. Walking alone sometimes becomes enough of a melody. Beneath an unlit bench, frosted leaves barely holding on. When my foot brushes past winter's quiet pulse, break softly. No joggers, no dogs on their evening strolls. Only this hour stands still while the river drips slowly on. I cast my thoughts into that slow current, not to be received, but simply to be released. The sunset, bound for nowhere, becomes the light that lingers longest, painting this hollow air and tinting even my silence. Who passed this place before? Small footprints already frozen, words left unsaid scatter into the wind by the shore. Early winter's colors, neither red nor blue, but pauses for breath between the shades of ash. Maybe this path was once walked side by side. Now in the space where traces fade, I leave only my name behind. What remains at the end is not memory nor conversation, just one half-dried feeling beneath the dusk of this riverside. The sun is set and I still stand there. The winter river flows without a word, and I in turn echo its silence, note by note. The smell of dust in the cracks of brick walls, a man walking at the edge of rush hour. And just then the city began to speak in a voice barely above silence. After the elevator doors closed, in that short moment of stillness, the whirring of the vent carried yesterday's feeling back to me. At the crosswalk, even in the flicker between signals, people said nothing, just tightened their grip around paper cups. A winter city doesn't speak in high notes. It mimics our indifference in breath, low and slow. In that quiet, I hear what isn't said, murmurs between buildings. not meeting eyes beneath the sign I used to know. Lower voices linger the longest. The more you try to forget, the deeper they sink, the softer they stay. This city has never called my name. Maybe that's why I was always the one to speak first. Words are remembered, not because they were loud, but because they weren't whispers at 4 p.m. that never rang out. Still clearer than sound. Every silence on this street was speaking all along in a voice so low only the listening could hear it. And I was the one who listened. The snow started falling again, just when I thought everything had been forgotten. The footsteps that had stayed so clearly all morning, by now they must be covered, not erased, just hidden, or so I wanted to believe. I kept walking that street, same time, same direction, same corner. I did it that day and the next, as if nothing had changed. But after that day, nothing ever felt quite the same. He wasn't the one who left first. He simply walked ahead, and I just didn't follow. Still his footprints remained sharp on the snow for a while long enough to notice, long enough to remember. I try not to step on them, as if staying near them might bring something back. But time always falls like snow, and every trace of us eventually drifts away. The street where footsteps disappeared was so quiet that the noise inside me echoed louder. Words I didn't realize I was whispering turned the corner and vanished, and I just stood there. I wasn't waiting, I wasn't even trying to remember. I just wanted to walk past once more. Those nothing things left behind, a half-said word, a bit of warmth, that final glance. When the person is gone and the sound is gone, when even footprints disappear. That's when the place settles into your memory. I still walk that street, a street with no trace of anyone, not even of myself. And sometimes my own breath startles me as I quietly keep walking somewhere further. What stays isn't what's seen, but the sense of having been there. The cloudier the sky, the clearer the memory, and I walk more softly through it. There are no footsteps left here now, but I know someone's heart once paused here. Quietly, then moved on. She keeps her eyes on a bench no one has touched for a while. The light has gone dim, the glass panels dusted with last season's air. The bus didn't come, it will not come. Time moves slower at a bus stop. No one speaks, no one asks, so everything becomes clearer. Silence wraps around the minutes, and only the emotions that sat there too long remain. Someone once left someone here, someone cried here, and someone else just sat to escape a cold night. Layers of farewell, indifference, an unspoken goodbye settled into that plastic seat. She doesn't sit, she simply stands, watching the war back rest. And in that faded curve, she sees her own shadow folding into it. The bus passes by, and this nameless stop is left with nothing but quiet. Waiting with no one waiting, and still she remains standing there. Long ago, someone called her name here, no one answered. Those unanswered voices still float in the air, knocking gently on the chilled glass. An empty bus stop holds more memories than any crowded street, because no one remembers it, it survives in quieter, longer ways. She could have walked away, but she didn't. Even the idea of leaving didn't make sense here. A bus stop is a border between staying and going, but no one draws that line anymore. Even the sound of engines from doesn't reach this place. The silence is too deep. It sinks into her like slow falling snow. The bus didn't come, and now she no longer waits. She'd only linger a little longer in the quiet before slowly walking behind her own shadow as it leaves.
Did love ever exist on this street? Neon and falling snow kept shining without anyone watching. Where its light touched, there was only air. No voices, she walked through it like a forgotten melody in cold, clear air. The shop doors were closed and a faded photo behind the glass showed a face she couldn't place. But the expression felt familiar, that face slowly disappeared like snow melting on warm glass. All light passes eventually, but where it once was never fully disappears. She stood still on a night no one would remember, in a place meant only for solitude. Looking at the neon, she recalled every forgotten heart the last to glow. The bus passes by at the same pace. The newspaper sits in the same spot. Each morning in this city takes a breath in the same scale. Minor, always minor. Every time the convenience store door opens, the same music plays. She picks up the same coffee at the same time. Nothing about the start of this day is different, and yet a small weight settles inside. The crosswalk signal is predictably late. People scroll through their phones without a word. She's no different, and yet something in her breath keeps slipping out quietly. In this city, nothing changes loudly, but in the sameness, emotions slowly fade, then quietly sing. City breathing in a minor key. No one cries, no one laughs. In between all that, she walks, dragging her feelings softly beside her. Between two buildings, sunlight barely touches the ground. In that shadow, a small weed has grown. She passes by it and blinks once without thinking. Life doesn't need to be special to keep moving. This rhythm, some would call it music, a small, repetitive song in a minor key. She thinks somewhere along the way she got used to it all. Whether that means she's dull or simply enduring, she still doesn't know. Today again, the city breathes as if nothing happened. But within that breath, small emotions ride the current, and she rides along with them. A minor afternoon, she keeps walking. The city says nothing but receives her footsteps, as if that alone was enough for today. Before the sunlight fully disappears, inside the glass windows of a shop. The neatly set tables hold nothing yet. No cups, no plates, no people. They simply remain, as if waiting for the night to arrive. She walks past them, doesn't open the door, just slightly turns her head to glance inside. Quietly, perhaps those tables still remember her. A few months ago, she sat there with a warm cup of tea, saying nothing for a long time. Time passed more slowly than words, and night arrived before her heart was ready. At some point, the reason to sit there vanished. The table stayed the same, but she had changed. Or maybe because everything remained the same, she could no longer return. Tables waiting for night, they hold nothing but what isn't there. Conversation, warmth, eye contact, and somehow that absence feels sharper now. She just looks at them from a distance. The chairs are tucked in, the glass is turned upside down. Once the lights come on, someone will take that seat, but it won't be her, not anymore. Perhaps waiting is simply the ability to endure nothing happening, and the tables seem to understand that better than anyone. She turns away, the temperature of that space, the quiet anticipation, she leaves it behind, moving softly into the next street light. Night will fall soon, conversations will rise at every table, but she remembers only the silence before it all began.
She didn't know that would be the last conversation. It ended like any other day, casually, without ceremony. She thought there would be a next day, and the next. But from that moment on, no words came. The name was still saved in her phone, but she didn't tap it. The message thread was still open, but no words came to her. Words she realized don't disappear, they just stop. For days she replayed the conversation, the tone, the expression, the pause at the end. She remembered how long the silence lasted. She remembered everything. Words she couldn't say, apologies left behind, questions never asked, sentences she never started, all buried now in the noise of the city. Slowly but surely they faded after the last conversation. She never really spoke in a real voice again. Every word that followed felt too thin, too far, and the silence, it couldn't be undone. She went back to where the words had been, but the person, the air, none of it was the same. Only memory sat stubbornly in place. She stepped away without a sound. The conversation ended, but even the ending was never heard. What is final only gets its name after it's gone. Now she knows the end said outlast the said. What's left behind shakes harder than what was spoken after the last conversation. The world went on, she walked the same streets, but somehow everything looked different. Just one moment of speech, hands chasing on. She didn't want to erase the words, she didn't want to keep them either. She only wanted to leave her soul quietly in the time that followed them.
She no longer spoke. She stood where words should be, but none came. Or maybe words had already left before she arrived. What remained was only the quiet gaze of someone who had nothing left to say. A single page left on the desk, a small gap under a closed door, steam rising from a cooling teacup. Each tried to speak, but in the end, none of them said anything. She opened the window, but only air came in. Even the sounds outside no longer touched the space. Words no longer stayed here, and their absence ran deeper than expected. Sometimes the quietest moment holds the most meaning, but not this time. Now even meaning had disappeared from the room. The place where words had left was quieter than memory, more distant than feeling. She reached out, but her fingers meant nothing. She only traced the untouched air. This space held laughter and sometimes tears, but now everything had vanished exactly and completely, and that emptiness remained in its place. Her room becomes sharpest when nothing happens inside it, and this place, its silence was its shape. She tried to write something, then stopped. No sentence belonged here, no word could stay. Without sound, without weight, but still they were there. She chose to leave the space untouched, not to fill it, not to name it, but simply to let it be the place where words had gone. She played the song a winter evening just before closing the window. A melody, a little slow, a little untied, like music that tried to go somewhere but never quite arrived. The song had no address, no sender, no receiver. It drifted through the middle of winter, soft, unclear, and somehow she felt it was exactly like her.
letter she once sent never came back. No notice of arrival, no echo of being read, just like that song. Her feelings floated, paused for a moment, then moved on again. Sometimes not reaching is still enough. There are emotions that exist simply by being released. Winter jazz was that kind of music. Winter jazz with no address inside it, a breath longer than words, a night shorter than conversation, and memories that belong to no one. She leaned into it gently. The music swayed, never fully ending, between tension and ease. She settled into its incomplete ending, because what's left unfinished often lingers longer. Winter air carries the breath of those who left nothing behind. The music gathers them and weaves them into a single melody. She remembered words once sent to nowhere, expressions left without names, greetings never returned. All of it was flowing now inside this jazz. There was no address, but the music still found its way into her. Later than any letter, farther than any meeting, but no less warm, no less real. The music in the end arrived nowhere, but she found comfort in its lack of arrival. Winter jazz didn't seek her out, and because of that, it held her gently. Streetlights were always meant to shine, but tonight the light felt softer than before. She stood beneath it, realizing that the darkness had come closer than the light. As if the streetlight was learning darkness for the very first time. She had often walked to the end of this street, the streetlight always bright, always showing her the way. But tonight she stood in a place just beyond its reach, and there she found a kind of quiet
she didn't yet know. When someone was beside her, darkness had been just a pause in the conversation, a passing moment. But now it stayed with her longer, not heavy, not light, just there. When something that only knew light starts to accept the dark, the world begins to look different. It wasn't fear, it was a slow kind of understanding. A streetlight learning darkness in a place where its light could no longer reach. It quietly began to reflect itself, and she stood with it, not shining for anyone else, but holding a small dim glow just for herself. Stopped walking, took a slow breath. Now even darkness felt like a language she could speak. Every light eventually learns darkness. It's not an end, but another kind of beginning. She wasn't someone who lit others' paths, but once she had passed through someone's night. Now no one was here, and that didn't feel wrong. She too was learning herself inside this quiet dark. The streetlight said nothing, neither did she, and yet they understood each other. They began to resemble one another. The streetlight stayed where it was, so did she. And as the darkness grew deeper, her heart strangely felt lighter. A snowy morning in a country of winter. The train never came. No announcements played over the speakers. The schedule remained unchanged, but everything had stopped. She stood still, gazing long at the vanishing point where the rails disappeared into white. There was no one on the platform, fresh snow untouched by any steps. The silence felt like the weight of waiting that had settled for years. She said nothing, she simply watched what stood still in front of her. Once this place had seen farewells, once someone had waited with hope. Now those emotions had melted and vanished, only snow fell quietly over the emptiness. Time had become a clock that no longer pointed anywhere. Waiting sometimes is not for another person. Sometimes it's time spent waiting for oneself. She had come to understand that. A platform where only waiting remains, no promises, no destinations. None of that mattered anymore. Just standing there in the heart of a winter was the most honest feeling she had. No train arrived, no voice echoed overhead. Only the wind lifted the edge of her coat. She let it move, took one slow breath, and opened her eyes again in silence. The vanishing point grew farther, winter grew deeper. The platform remained the same, but she somehow was not exactly who she had been. She didn't leave, she didn't stay. Time passed, feelings moved, and all that remained was the fact that she had stood there. Even with no one left to wait for, the waiting itself remained. It asked nothing, named no one, it simply rested quietly along the rails beneath the falling snow. She stood at the edge of the platform, knowing no train would come. Still she looked toward the vanishing point. Nothing happened there, and somehow that was enough.